Hey everybody, welcome to Freedom Fridays with Reflect, Restore, and Renew. I started this group in an effort to try to give some motivation and inspiration to somebody that may be having a difficult time with life, or you just needed some positivity in your day. It's for everybody, and I hope that you can get something from all of the videos that I plan to do, because I plan to do Freedom Fridays every Friday. The whole Reflect, Restore, and Renew developed from me going through some very difficult times in my life and trying to find a purpose in all of that pain. And I thought that by making videos and creating the Reflect, Restore, and Renew group, that I may be able to give some inspiration, motivation, love, support, resources, and tools to be able to get through life day to day, whether it's hard times or you just feeling a little down for the day. Um, you know, I had some very, very difficult times in my life. I had to find a way to pick myself up. I remember sitting at a table with my friend and my cousin, telling them, I'm tired of the hamster wheel of life. You go on this roller coaster, and over again, the things happen back to back. They're the same, they're different. You have control over them, you might not. It's just life, ups and downs, hills and valleys. And for some of us, it's harder than others, and some things are more devastating than others. And we have to learn to get through them. Um, I was very depressed at one point, very, very depressed. I had to do a lot of therapy, a lot of soul searching, a lot of diving into my spirituality, and I just found a way to pick myself up. And I was in a new space, a new place. And I just want to try to help somebody else do that. I am by far not done with my work on myself. But in self reflecting, I realized that a lot of the depression and a lot of the difficulty came from me going, why me? Why me? I try to be a good person. I'm really nice. I try to be helpful and there for everybody. I don't understand why all this bad stuff keeps happening to me. I came to the conclusion that it had to happen to me in order for me to grow and move forward in life. There's points where we become very stagnant and stuck because we don't know how to move forward. We're scared to move forward because who knows what else gonna happen. I mean, I feel like I've been devastated, heartbroken, and all kind of stuff already. Like, I don't know what else gonna come next. How am I going to handle that when I can't even handle this? So now it's how do I move forward and what do I do with all this pain? And those why me's really turned into it had to happen to me. I have 3 children and they have 3 different dads. And I never wanted to be the baby mama with 3 baby daddies. That just wasn't how I saw my life. I wanted to have the husband, the 2.5 kids, the dog, the nice house, good job. That's what I wanted for myself. But there's so many things in life that happens to you that changes your path, gets you off track. You end up in this place that you never imagined yourself. And you sit there like, how did I get here? And why? I was real devastated, depressed, hurt, heartbroken. It was rough each time. I was ashamed, embarrassed. I tried to hide 2 of my pregnancies. I was grown though. Like, I had my first kid at like 23, 24. And then the next one didn't come till 6 years later. Like, it's not like I was in some position that was so horrible or whatever. But it was just not what I wanted for myself. At 34, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. the kind I had was estrogen positive. Like it was really strong with estrogen. So what do they have to do in order to try to keep it away? Reduce the estrogen. So at 36, I'm going through menopause. If I wouldn't have never had my kids when I did, baby, I wouldn't have had none. And I really wanted kids. I wanted a family. That's what I wanted. That was my goal, to have this family, have these kids. I love kids. I raised other people's kids. I put so much into other people's kids that I wanted my own, to see how I could develop them and grow them and what kind of little humans I could make. So I would have been really devastated if I would have never had any. And God had a better plan. I was devastated and hurt back then. You know, I went through all these emotions back then, but now I see that God had a plan. He knew better. He knew cancer was gonna come. And I love my babies, each one of them. They are awesome. So I'm thankful for going through that pain back then. Even though it hurt back then, now in hindsight, I am so grateful that that even happened. We have to learn that these cycles that we're on and these roller coasters that we're on, that they have a purpose and a plan. There is a reason that they all happen, and it's to grow you, to help you see and move differently in life, to learn lessons, to get to your purpose in life. It's not just to hurt you. It's not just to hold you back or depress you. It's meant to grow you, catapult you to a new place in life so that you can fulfill your purpose on this earth. But you have to see it that way. There's a story in the Bible about Joseph. This is in Genesis. Joseph was a favorite of his father. His brothers were very jealous of that, and they sold him into slavery. When they sold him into slavery, he was sold eventually to Pharaoh, who was ruler over Egypt. And Pharaoh liked Joseph. In the end, Joseph became second in command over Egypt, one of the highest people. And his brothers ended up having to come back to him for help. They didn't know it was him at first. But when they found out it was him, they thought he was going to have revenge on them, you know, hurt them or something. And Joseph took them in. He fed them, kept them clothed. He did what he needed to do. He didn't seek revenge. You know what he told them? Genesis 50:20. He said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for the good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph was special. And God put him in the right place to be able to save a whole lot of people during that famine. If he would have never gotten into slavery, that would have never happened. His purpose would have never been fulfilled if his brothers never did that to him. That bad thing had to happen in order for him to be as great as he became. Realize that all of these things work together. I also want to tell you about this thing I saw on Hulu. I can't remember the name. I think it was called Say My Name. It was Sandra Bland's story. So many of us are familiar with Sandra Bland. In that movie or documentary, you know, they were playing clips of the things that she was saying and talking to her family and stuff. She did all these videos about Black injustice and our rights and trying to get that known and fighting for it. At some point, she was in Chicago and she told her family she had a purpose to go to Texas. She started a revolution in her death. She started the purpose of what she said she had. But it has such a greater purpose. And we have to see those things in everyday life. And each story that I told, that pain was meant for a purpose that affected somebody else. You never know whose destiny is wrapped up in your pain, your purpose, your will to fight through it. You don't know what you could affect by fighting through it. You don't know who you could help by fighting through it. You never know. I remember being at work, and there was this woman who came into my cubicle. And we're talking and we're going through all the questions and whatnot. And then somehow the lady tells me that she had cancer. Now, she had a different type of cancer. I think it was cervical or something. But it was a whole different type of cancer. But she told me that her kids didn't know. Nobody knew. And she was going through it all by herself. She didn't know what to do. We talked for so long that we shouldn't have because I had other people to see. But we talked for so long. She left hugging me and all of this. I gave her some inspiration, motivation, and some courage just in talking to her about my cancer and what I lived through. Now, say that, I became so depressed that I couldn't move or I wouldn't move forward because I literally became depressed to the point that I was staying in the bed, looking at walls, not doing anything. So say that I never pushed forward. That lady would have never gotten what she needed in order to fight, in order to get support from her family and the people around her, the love and support she needs. We have to be aware that our pain has a purpose. Say you were homeless and now you're feeding the homeless. You are a homeless teen and now you help homeless teens. You were a rape victim and you could have talked to one other person about that rape and that may have helped that person get through their day. You never know where that pain is meant to help someone else. So please, I encourage you to look at your pain from a different light. Look at the positive side of it. What did it do to grow you? What purpose did it have? Because you weren't in pain for no reason. There was a reason for it. There was something that was supposed to grow you or help someone else. Please sit back, look deep inside and figure out what was supposed to develop from you going through those hard situations. Push through. Fight. You can do it. It is not over. God has a plan. There is more for you in life. You have to get through those valleys in order to see your hills. There are plenty of them in life, and they will not stop. But we have to learn how to get through them. And the way to get through them is to figure out what lesson is in there. Jonathan Reynolds has a song called Cycles. And in that song, there's a verse. And he says, see, the devil, he learns from your mistakes, even if you don't. That's how he keeps you in cycles. You have to learn from each thing that happens to you. It doesn't happen for no reason. God gives you that with the intent to prosper you. The Bible tells he has hope and a future for you. That's in the word. You must learn your lessons. Take your lumps and keep moving. Self-reflect. Learn what it is that you need to learn so that you can stop going in that cycle. Change the things you need to change so that your life can change. You don't ever have to stay in the same position, ever. None of these things was meant to break you, period. You are meant to live and live with a purpose. You are meant to do something great. And the only thing that stands between you and greatness is you. You must move forward. You must pursue your purpose. You must fight through the pain, the down times. Do what you need to do. Journal, video journal, seek therapy. Do whatever you can to fight for your life and your purpose. God is sitting there waiting on you to do it. We make mistakes. Bad things happen, but they are not meant to break you. It's meant for growth. Grow, live, love. So for each video that I do, I want to leave you with 3 things. 1, a quote. That quote today: if we want to grow, the way to break a pattern of negativity is to face anything negative with love. A Bible verse, 2. Exodus 9:16. But indeed, for this reason I have allowed you to remain, in order to show you my power, not me, and in order to proclaim my name through all the earth. The third thing is meditate on